Drivers working their way onto the front straightaway. We're at it, ladies and gentlemen. Green, green, green. Race 3 for USF 2000 here at Mid-Ohio, the Allied Grand Prix of Mid-Ohio now underway as the drivers stream through turn number 1. Looking good so far in the first run up to the keyhole. They'll go into the view. Rusty Bell.
Up into the keyhole right now, it's Anthony Martin, Parker Thompson, Dakota Dickerson in the order they qualified. Single file now through the top of the keyhole. Looks like everybody so far just now coming onto the back straightaway, but no incidents there. There's a couple of cars going side by side mid-pack, but at the moment, the number 8 machine is streaming away from the field. Already about a 4-car length gap for Anthony Martin.
Martin doing a good job, but we've got a pass now on the outside for the 4th spot. We'll see if that pass is able to be made. Martin with the advantage. Thompson, Dickerson, and the number 9 car, Franzoni, gets around Rickards there at the end of the back straightaway. Tom Michaels there underneath the Honda Bridge. Anthony Martin going for the 3-peat.
Right now, got a considerable advantage right there on Thompson, then a gap back. Good battle now as the 22 car Franzoni is up there in the 3rd place, just ahead of Dickerson. They continue to run here. Garth Rickards up there, I should say, and right now, Anthony Martin, Parker Thompson, they're the leaders as we complete lap 1.
Not surprising the Cape Motorsports drivers able to get a good jump and get out front. The battle was for that 3rd, 4th, and 5th place positions. Garth Rickards in that Pabst Racing in black number 22 was able to hold the outside through the keyhole to get around Dakota Dickerson, and then Dickerson lost another spot going down into the braking zone of turn number 4 as the Brazilian Victor Franzoni went by in that number 9. So Rickards having the best run of the year as he's worked his way now up into 3rd position. More battling further back as Dickerson now getting challenged by Jordan Lloyd. The Pabst Racing drivers on a charge here right now in the number 21. Now, one thing to remember is the fact that yesterday we talked about the fact that it was only McGuinness and Dickerson had used tires. But when you have those scrub tires, they're a little bit better for the first couple of laps. Dakota's on brand new tires, has fresh set of Coopers, so that may give him the speed he'll allow to go back by these guys later in the race. I believe that both of the drivers in the Pabst Racing cars had scuffed tires on. We have a driver actually off over here in turn number 4 and coming back on. That's one of the John Comiskey Racing drivers. That's Lucas Cole. But that's the way things are going to play out here again. Dickerson on those fresh tires is going to be better in the last couple of laps of this race, John.
Right now, the battle is for 3rd place. The 22 of Ricard still being able to hold on to that. Victor Franzoni in the number 4 position. Martin and Thompson put themselves out to quite an advantage.
Watch them work their way up here to the top of the hill through the carousel. And again, the battle will continue for that 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th place positions. Dickerson now trying to close back up here on Jordan Lloyd. Listoshkin's been able to work his way up there into the 7th spot. Luke Gabin in 8th. 9th is Jordan Kane in 10th. The other Rookie of the Year contender, in fact, the leader in the Rookie of the Year standings, the Team Pelfrey yellow and black car, Robert McGuinness. But again, big run up front here for Anthony Martin. We said, John, he came in here 20 points behind. He's done everything he wanted to do here this weekend, coming off a bad weekend in Toronto. He wrecked in practice and qualifying. He wrecked in the first race in the same corner, broke a bone in his hand, came back to 2nd in race number 2. But he comes in here knowing what he had to do, and he's done it. 2 wins already.
Yeah, and he's gotten some help as Parker Thompson had that flat tire in the first race, and that has really played into the championship hopes of Anthony Martin, because now he is in the lead, and all he's got to do is keep Thompson behind him, and he's on his way to a championship.
Again, watch the drivers circular right around the track here now, through the S's, up over Madness. Very tough part of this racetrack. There's so many corners that are blind, and the car gets unweighted as they roll up over top of the rise. Again, down, same thing as they roll down through the right-hander that leads into Thunder Valley. That car really loses all the weight, wants to rotate around as you come over the hill. You roll it out over top of the rumble strips on the exit of that corner, and then rocket through, up over the other rise. Turn 11 is the corner these guys love because blind, super fast, and then, of course, down into that sweeping, decreasing radius right-hand carousel.
Leaders coming into the view of Rusty Bell. Really no challenge. In fact, the 3rd place battle is probably the best one in the front of the racetrack, as Franzoni, Lloyd, Dickerson all running in a bunch.
Yeah, we're watching those 4 cars battling for 3rd. Nobody really able to make a move right now, but here comes one from the back part of those 4 cars. Can't make it happen. Has a little bit of defensive driving going on there with Victor Franzoni and Jordan Lloyd. So we'll keep an eye on that, as it looked like Franzoni moved over to sort of block that entry to the keyhole. we'll watch him just taking that defensive line as we watch him down the straightaway. The 18 machine looking for a way around Dakota Dickerson after a poor start, trying to get back up there to the front.
Great battle back there, Rusty, but watch. Parker Thompson actually closing up on Anthony Martin. He turns the fastest race lap on the last one. Tom, they come into your view. It's about 8 car lengths between them, but we may have a battle at the lead.
Yeah, right now, after that fastest lap, Parker Thompson probably now 6 car lengths off the lead. The battle kind of stabilizes there for third place. Ricard, Franzoni, Lloyd, Dickerson.
Well, keep in mind the fact that Dickerson, starting on that fresh Cooper tire set, he was able to keep a set here for race number 2. That means that those tires are going to be better. He'll have more grip in the second half of this race, and we'll see if he's able to continue to try to challenge up here for the 4th place position. Actually, 3rd and 4th. Let's not even say that, because right now, Ricard's right in front of Franzoni, Lloyd, Dickerson, and Listowskin. Good fight here for those positions, but again, up front, we talk about this championship, John, and how important it is to grab every point you possibly can. Parker Thompson's going to want to have that fast lap of the race. Even if he finishes second and can't catch Martin, he needs that fast lap to get that bonus point.
Yeah, he's already done that in the second race yesterday, so hopefully he can do it again in this race and, again, close the gap or keep the gap manageable as we head off to Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca for the finale. 2 rounds there to determine the championship, but right now it looks like Anthony Martin may lead here with leave Mid-Ohio with a pretty comfortable lead.
I tell you what, Parker Thompson's going to have something to say about that. It's down to 3 car lengths as they make their way through the S's. He has taken another half second out of that advantage. Tom, they're in front of you. Can he close up any more?
No, not really. Still about 3.5 car lengths between first and second under acceleration through Thunder Valley. Now we got a try back in the field, the 91, trying to come up on Listowskin, but is unable to make it go as he tried to put the wheels on the other side of the rumble strips in turn number 9, but can't make the pass.
Luke Gavin's got a podium already this weekend, and he's trying to move forward.
Got to give props to the guys here at Cape Motorsports with Wayne Taylor Racing. With the results they had yesterday, they've already clinched the team championship for 2016. 5th year in a row that they've won the team championship, which uses the points of all your drivers. So they're very pleased with that. Looking to get another championship here as well. And they're really in the position to do it. Those only 3 drivers still remain, or 4 drivers in the championship chase. And that's Martin, Thompson, Franzoni, and Jordan Lloyd. And of course, they're all running in the top 5 right now as well. So the championship still will be up for grabs. But again, Martin and Thompson in the best position right now, of course, running first and second.
Watching them down the straightaway, I'm not sure what kind of aerodynamic differences these cars have, but it looks like Anthony Martin's got the car set up for low-speed corners, but Parker Thompson comes through turn 1, carrying the 2 or 3 more mile an hour and can close up on the back of Anthony Martin. So I don't know, he may have a low downforce set up, and it looks like Anthony Martin's got the high downforce.
Time-wise, it's half a second. Visually, it's less than 3 car lengths between first and second right now. The battle for the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th position not changing at this point. And then up into the number 7 position, Listowskin still with that position. He's being challenged by Luke Gavin.
At this point, the 2 leaders kind of just settling in. You know, Parker Thompson just waiting for that one little mistake that Martin might make. You wouldn't think they'd make one. These are the 2 drivers that were in the Rookie of the Year battle last year. Anthony Martin was running for John Comiskey Racing. Parker Thompson running for JDC Motorsports. They fought back and forth all year long. And you wouldn't think that Martin would make a mistake. So consistent last year. But he did that in Toronto. He made that mistake in Toronto, got it into the wall in qualifying, then just missed the apex and got it in the wall in race number 1. This is the first rung of the Mazda Road Indy. These are still young guys. They're still learning the racecraft. And, yeah, they can make a mistake every once in a while. And Thompson just biding his time right now, about a half a second back, taking care of those tires. Still a long way to go in this race as well. Over 20 minutes remaining in this 30-minute race, guys. So at this point, these guys just knocking out good laps to make sure they're battling it out amongst themselves.
Go ahead, Rusty. Or Brian.
Yeah, Thompson has turned the fastest race lap 4 consecutive laps in a row. He keeps lowering it. He is closer every single time through the S's. So I'll tell you what, he may be knocking out some good laps, but he is closing up every lap.
Well, this time Thompson lets the back end come out just a little bit, coming up over the rise, going down into Thunder Valley, so may lose just a little bit this time.
He's definitely lost a bunch there. You got it, Tom. He lost at least 4 or 5 car lengths there, and this has given Martin a little bit of breathing room as they work their way back onto the front straightaway. Yeah, noticeably further back there for Thompson as he's, of course, riding the razor's edge here. Watch the drivers 3rd, 4th, and 5th come on through. Dickerson's kind of dropped off the back of that group a little bit as it's Rickards in 3rd, or Rickards rather in 3rd, Franzoni 4th, Lloyd 5th, Dickerson back in the 6th spot. Listoshkin now runs in 7th. 8th is Kane. 9th is Gavin and Robert McGinnis rounding out your top 10. Gavin rolling his way up into the 9th position here. Started 8th, rolling 9th here. Needs to get some more speed and work his way forward after that great top 3 finish in race number 1.
Rusty Bell, on that last lap, we had a problem up in the keyhole.
Yeah, Cameron Daz spun the car right in the middle of the keyhole turn and was stationary for a moment. Fortunately, towards the back of the field, everybody able to clear that, and he has rejoined, albeit at the very tail end of the field.
Field making their way through the S's. The battle for 3rd is down to about 3 cars now. The 21 of Jordan Lloyd trying to make inroads there on that 5th spot.
And we see the battle for the lead. Thompson trying to rejoin there as he lost about 3/10 of a second on that little slide he had coming through turn number 9 last round.
Rob, I'm really surprised at the gap that the 2 Cape Motorsports teammates have put on the rest of the field. This is not what we've seen throughout the weekend. The 3rd and on back has been able to stay within a couple of seconds. They're almost 7 seconds out in front of this 3rd place battle.
You know, John, you're right. They're able to stretch out big time right now. And I'll tell you, Garth Rickards looking for his first career podium finish, his 2nd year of the series. Last year ran with Team Pelfrey, was a kind of a tail end of the top 10 guy. He's having a good run here. He had a really solid run at Lucas Oil Raceway to the Oval. I picked him as my star of the race. He was able to work his way from the tail of the field back up into the grouping. But right now, good start for him. Was able to get around Dakota Dickerson, as we said, on the outside of the keyhole, the opening lap. Not an easy thing to do, able to hold that outside run and then defend going down into turn number 4 as Franzoni was coming on strong. So Rickards in that number 2 really having a solid run here, but as you said, really hasn't had the pace to run up front. That's, I think, why they're sliding back a little bit, because Rickards may just not have the pace to run with the drivers from Cape Motorsports. Franzoni he won in Toronto, but he's kind of held up a little bit here potentially by Rickards.
Thompson is pulled up once again, less than 2 car lengths behind Martin as they come through 9. They put it in the middle of the racetrack going through 10 in that bending right-hander, and now up into the carousel turn. We should have a real battle for the lead in the lap or so.
Different tire strategy, Rob?
No, I just think I'm going to say probably exactly the same setups. That's the way they roll these cars at Cape. You know, they have the setup that they want these guys to run, maybe a couple minor tweaks. Personally, I just think at this point, it's just the fact that one driver's kind of running a little more conservatively. You got one guy in the championship lead, you got one guy not there. Martin's not trying to roll the dice here right now. He's not running the ragged edge on the razor. He's just going to hang out there and drive. Parker's pushing hard. That's the thing. Parker's up on the throttle. He knows it. He knows he's got to roll as much corner speed as he possibly can. The pressure's on Parker. It's not on Anthony.
Got it. He's controlling the pace,
Most
basically,
definitely.
from the lead.
Yep.
Yeah, you can watch him close up down the straightaway, and also around turn 1. He's able to close in on both the long straightaways right under braking. Gets within a car length into the keyhole and down at the end of the straightaway.
Yeah, great observation, Rusty. That last lap, he had it down less than a car length at the entry to the S's, and it was up to almost 3 at the exit. So 2 different little slight setup changes. May just be a rear wing, just a slight change back there, and that'll show up as that difference.
And there's that little bit of a difference now. 4 car lengths between 1st and 2nd. Martin with the advantage on Thompson. The huge gap back. Now the battle for 3rd place. Car length and a half between the 22 of Garth Rickards and the number 9 of Victor Franzoni.
Guys, the biggest difference here between these 2 cars is simply the fact that there is a lot of downforce in these current race cars. Anytime Parker Thompson gets in there in turn 4 and tucks that wing under the gearbox of Martin, he loses all the air off the front wing, and that's where it pushes. The car just doesn't want to turn. He gets that understeer, and that's when he gets to pull away. And there's a couple corners here where you got to roll that corner speed. We've talked about the fact that at Mid-Ohio, the difference between a really amazing lap and just a mediocre lap is being able to have that higher minimum speed in the corner. Well, when you're tucked underneath somebody, you're trying to roll that minimum speed and you lose all the front wing and all that front downforce, that's when you're in trouble.
And we're talking about the new car coming next year is going to eliminate some of that.
And that's a great segue. The brand new car, the USF 17, will have much more mechanical grip and less aero grip, which is going to obviously minimize that. They're going to be able to run hard into those corners.
Yeah, that time we saw a brake lock up out of Anthony Martin going into the keyhole. It's the first time I've seen any kind of issue with that car, as the brake lock up pretty significant that time, as he may be looking in the mirrors a bit. Side-by-side battle coming at you there for about 7th, Brian.
Still side-by-side. Going to try the over-under, not going to be able to get it done. The 4 car and the 19 or the 91 car of Gavin. Gavin slides off to the track here, almost saves it. He is now facing counter race here. He has blocked the track. He is able to get that restarted just in time. Gavin's going to be able to rejoin. Boy, that was a dicey moment out here in the S's.
Tough one, of course, there for Luke Gavin as he was running just inside the top 10, but that's the other battle with Cape Motorsports. We see the 2 sophomore drivers, Anthony Martin and Parker Thompson, second year in the series. They're battling it out. The other 2 Cape Motorsports drivers, the sophomore Listowski and the rookie Jordan Kane, those are the 2 white cars that are fighting out here for the 7th position. Gavin, of course, dropping down. That's going to move McGinnis up into the 9th spot. Yufeng Luo to 10th. McCusker up to 11th. Agron to 12th. Waiting for Gavin to come back across the line here. Well back. Luke Gavin's going to drop all the way down into the 16th position, right in front of Tazio Otis. So trouble there for Luke Gavin, a driver who at this point, well, coming into the weekend was actually still in the championship chase, but issues for him in race number 2 put him back.
We're getting word from race control that Sam Chastain in the 77 is going to be issued a drive-through penalty for avoidable contact.
They are fighting it, though. So at this point, the crew trying to get with race control, so we're not sure if he's going to roll down here, but that was the contact with Cameron Doss.
And coming off of turn 8, now 9. This is the closest we've seen the leaders, a carling between Martin and Thompson. They're going through there like a freight train. Down through turn number 10, up into 11. The left-hander there. Watch them as they come into the carousel turn. Nothing in it between first and second.
You know, John, you just got to go back a couple of years when we had a battle with 2 Cape Motorsports teammates trying to go for the championship. Spencer Piggott and Matthew Brabham. They battled it out. They won almost all the races that year, and they battled out here. I believe it was contact coming through the S's down to, I believe, turn number 6 there. They got together. One of the drivers was off the racetrack. There was a lot of controversy and chaos there. Now, again, here we go. Fast forward to 2016, and the other 2 champions here at Cape Motorsports are battling it out. So let's see if we get something from Parker Thompson here, guys. Rusty, they're going to come through the keyhole right now. We got a challenge here up front.
Down the straightaway, we'll see. It's typically that Parker Thompson machine a little quicker at the top end. He's back, though, about 3 car lengths when they go by me here at the start line on the back straightaway, and he is not close enough to make a move this lap.
He gets down to about 2 car lengths under braking. We'll see, he comes up to the top of 5. He closes in once again. It's about a car length as they work their way down through the S's. Both of those drivers sawing at the wheel as they go through turn number 6. They are pushing hard now, Tom, in front of you.
Absolutely. They let it go to the outside rumble strip, bring it back down to the apex at 9. Down through Thunder Valley now. Nose to tail they go. Still about a car length difference between first and second. Now Franzoni starting to put the pressure on Ricards for 3rd.
After Gavin's problem, it looks like Yufeng Luo all over the back of Robert McGinnis for 9th spot. So Luo looking for a way to get forward here, well into the top 10 now.
If we look at the Rookie of the Year standings as well, Dakota Dickerson going to try to claw back a couple more points. Of course, he had a great run to 5th in the opening race with McGinnis, who is the point leader in the rookie standings out of DNF. He had that issue early on. Yesterday, in race number 2, McGinnis actually finishing 1 spot ahead of Dickerson, but now Dickerson running in 6th, McGinnis down in 9th. So Dickerson continues to claw away, but the consistency of McGinnis will keep him with that Rookie of the Year point lead heading to Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca.
Down the straightaway, 2 car lengths this time by me, so we'll see whether he can close it down to 1. Gets it down probably to 1, Brian, when they hit the brakes.
On the brakes, and you're right, Rusty, it's just over a car length as they make their way up into turn number 5. This is as tight as it's been for the last couple laps here. Thompson all over that rear wing of Martin. Both cars push as they exit turn number 6. Tom, I think these guys might be running the cars just a tick hard.
Yeah, there's a little bit more distance between them now, about 2 car lengths separating Martin and Thompson. But they smoothly go through turn number 10. Back we go. Battle for 3rd is broken off as now there's a 3-car advantage for cars over Franzoni.
Guys, guys. Simply put, right now, Parker Thompson's racing for his championship life here. He's trying to get around his teammate. He has got to win this race if he wants to close back up here. Martin leads in the number 8. Parker Thompson runs second in the number 2. Two great young drivers here on the Mazda road to Indy. Who will win the championship? We'll find out in about a month's time. But at this point, they are pushing hard. And you can tell, John, Parker Thompson's just pushing, trying to get him to make a mistake. Showing the wing here, showing the nose here, just trying to see if he can't pressure Anthony into a little error.
Is Anthony still suffering any effects from that wrist injury in Toronto?
I spoke with him yesterday. He said no. It's 2 weeks down the line. I just don't think he wants to tell anybody, to be honest. You don't want to let anybody know if you have a weakness. So this, of course, we talked to a couple of the IndyCar drivers. It's tough. You never really have a break here. Even down the long straightaway, you're always kind of turning. You got that wheel loaded because you have that kink before you come down to turn 4, turn 3. So this track, you're always so busy, and your hands are really getting a workout.
Because, this is third race of the weekend. That wrist may be beginning to give him a little trouble, and Parker Thompson hoping that that's the case.
I agree, and we talked to a bunch of the drivers, and they showed us their hands, blisters all over their hands because this track is just so challenging. It's so tough on them. They're all up on the wheel, no power steering, of course, so everything goes through their hands.
Right.
And a bunch of these young guys with just blisters all over their hands today. Working their way up the hill here now, back over to the carousel. That gap is stretched once again. Like the guys said, it was down to about a car length at one point, but about a half a second last time by. We have about 9.5 minutes remaining. So we're looking probably somewhere around 4 to 5 laps left, though, but maybe 6 laps to go as they work their way here across start finish. Anthony Martin, not surprising, just reset fast lap of the race. So 122.318. Just under a half a second, the gap between first and second. Let's give you a full field rundown here as we have, again, 9 minutes remaining. Garth Ricards for Pabst Racing runs in third. Victor Franzoni for Arms Up Motorsports in the silver number 9, running in the 4th spot. Pabst Racing's Jordan Lloyd in the 21 runs in 5th. Dakota Dickerson 6th in the Afterburner Autosport Mazda Soul Red number 18. The Cape Motorsports drivers Jordan Kane and Nikita Listoshkin 7th and 8th. Kane in the number 4, Listoshkin in the 3. Robert McGinnis for Team Pelfrey in the number 80 runs 9th. Yufeng Luo makes it all 3 Pabst Racing drivers in the top 10 in the black number 23. Austin McCusker in the Primus Racing number 5 runs in 11th. Isla Agron and Lucas Cole, the 2 John Comiskey Racing drivers, in 12th and 13th. Mackay Stevens for RJB Motorsports, now 14th, ahead of Luke Gavin in the J Motorsports number 91. Tazio Otis in the JDC Motorsports number 72 in the 16th spot. Clint McMahon for RJB Motorsports in the 17th position. Christian Munoz in the number 17 for Afterburner Autosport 8th over Sam Chastain in the 77, and Cameron Doss in the number 92.
Word from race control that Jordan Kane is also going to receive a drive-through penalty for avoidable contact. He's currently running in the 7th spot.
Up front still, though, Anthony Martin is your leader. Fast lap, 122.290. And again, importance of that fast lap, that one extra bonus point. If Martin gets it, Thompson gets it. It's not just 1 point. That's a 2-point swing. One driver doesn't get it, one driver does. So
Jordan Kane serving his penalty.
So Jordan Kane getting a drive-through for contact. Unsure who that contact was with. I'm assuming with his teammate Listoshkin or potentially with Luke Gavin. Remember, Luke Gavin had the issue when they were battling. We're not sure exactly what the reason was for that penalty, but again, a tough one for Jordan Kane. He'll drive through here and drop well down the order. He's going to go all the way down, I want to say, to around, let's see, probably the 16th or 17th position. Back over by Tom. What do they got going there? We got a battle for the lead?
Well, it's about the same as we've seen it the last couple of laps. I'd say 2 car lengths between Martin and Thompson at this point. But with it getting late now and Thompson having to get up there and make the win to keep his championship hopes alive, you got to think he's saving the tires maybe a little bit. Going to be making that last-minute charge.
Trying to make a little different line coming through the carousel to make sure they have that arrow on the front wing, get that downforce as he rolls up on the curbing coming out of turn number 14. They'll work their way here again. Down into 1. Just a little lift coming through turn number 1. Not quite flat, a little lift to get the car to set back on the throttle. And we'll see who's going to be able to challenge here. Keyhole, of course, John, one of the most important places to pass. Get down by both Rusty and Brian down there in turn number 4. That's the other opportunity. We've seen them make the push. Rusty, you've called it. He's been close, but just never close enough.
Yeah, Anthony Martin locked the brakes a couple of laps ago, but I haven't seen another mistake out of him so far, and he's able to maintain that gap. Again, it's 2 car lengths. That's what it's been for the last 3 or 4 laps, and it really can't get any closer than a car length at the top end of the straight.
Rusty, this time he does close it up as he comes up to the top of the hill in turn number 5. He gets it down to less than a car length, takes a wider turn into the 6. He keeps it at there about a car length and a half as they go out of my view.
Yeah, let's see what happens over here in turn number 9. Nowhere near close to even making a feint to try and make his way around. Up through Thunder Valley once again. They just slipped straight through there, up into 11. Into the left-hander to the carousel turn. Pretty much status quo at the front, but that last time around, Parker Thompson got the fast race lap back.
The way things shake down right now with that fast lap being brought back to Parker Thompson, 19 points will be the gap between first and second. What a shift. Remember, Parker Thompson came in with a 20-point lead. He's going to leave being down 19, so a 39-point shift here, and they'll just kind of change positions going to Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca for that doubleheader. So again, only 19 points. If it finishes where it is right now, that's not much. It takes one mistake, one DNF, and all bets are off in this championship. So we are looking at 4 minutes and 45 seconds still to go. Fast lap, you guys said, was for Parker Thompson, a 122.290. And in fact, both drivers with that fastest lap, they both turned a 122.2. So I'm assuming with the second fastest lap for Parker Thompson, the computer giving him the honors there. Martin, Thompson, Ricards, Franzoni, and Lloyd, your top 5. Ricards pretty solidly right now into that third spot, but Victor Franzoni's starting to come here. That's that battle for third. Tom Michaels rolling into you. The leader's coming over the hill.
Absolutely, and still about the same as it was last time. A little bit of a twitch by the Thompson car coming off of turn number 8. So I don't know that he's got the edge to be able to pull up and make that pass. Again, as you say, catch him one thing, pass him another. They have been within 4 car lengths throughout this whole thing. Right now it's at about 2.
You know, sometimes the maturity of a driver is just knowing the car you have. Parker Thompson could push hard, he could throw the car off, drop a wheel, and end up getting a DNF, and the championship would be over. At this point here, I think he's saying, you know what, I just don't have the car to chase him. I ran him down, I was right there with him. I just don't have the race car right now to go by, and maybe taking second, making sure you have that fast lap of the race. The gap at that point is only going to be about 5 or 6 points that he's going to lose here in this one. 19 points, of course, not hard to overcome. All it takes is that one issue in one of the races. And Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca is such a challenging track, just like the one here at Mid-Ohio. Anything could happen. Fantastic battle further back, John. Just as they rolled by us here. That's 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th. Austin McCusker in the 5 and 10th. Isla Agron in the 33 and 11th. Luke Gabbins fought his way back after that spin to 12th, right in front of Lucas Cole. Gabbins on a charge trying to recover.
Yep.
They were 3 wide that time, the last lap down the straightaway. They're nose to tail now coming out of the keyhole turn as we watch that battle. We'll keep an eye on it here as they're all tucked into the draft. 3 cars there. Gavin was on the inside last time. Couldn't quite pull the pass off there on that number 33 of Agron. And now they're side by side at the front of that. And Gavin looking for a way around.
Yeah, Gavin almost made it 3 wide at the end of the back straightaway. Gavin, 2 days in a row now, he's had to fight his way back up after unfortunate circumstances puts him down the order. But boy, he's making it fun. Gavin not able to get a pass done, but almost 3 wide at the end of the back straightaway. Tom, that battle's in your view. It's 2 wide.
Here comes Gavin, looks to the inside. No, not going to make the pass on Agron at this point. Those 4 cars right together once again. Agron continues in the number 11 position.
Guys, we're going to see the white flag next time by. Another great battle here between Nikita Listoshkin and Robert McGinnis. The white number 3 and the black and yellow number 80 of McGinnis. That's for 7th position. They're having a fantastic dice here. And again, this battle for 10th on back to 14th rolls by us. Isla Agron doing what she can to hold off Luke Gavin. But again, white flag will fly this next time by. So there's 2 laps remaining. What has been a very entertaining USF 2000 race. A great way to kick off the wheel-to-wheel action here today. Martin, Thompson, Ricards, Franzoni, and Lloyd, your top 5. Anthony Martin retakes fast lap. 122.281. He goes 9 thousandths of a second quicker, and that 9 thousandths translates to almost a full second lead and an extra bonus point in the championship, John. That's unbelievably impressive. That's going to be 20 points, I believe, as we look to go to Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca.
He saved the best for last. He's clearly pulled the pin here on the closing laps as they come to the white flag. 1 lap to go, and Anthony Martin looking to make it a 3-peat here at Mid-Ohio and take command of this championship.
You know, you look at the history, you look at last year, Nico Jamin was able to win all 3 races, then went on to dominate Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. That's what Anthony Martin's going to have in his head right now.
Go ahead, Brian.
Gavin, unfortunately, had another spin at the exit of turn number 4. He is able to continue. Claws back and then spins again. So Gavin's having a rough weekend here at Mid-Ohio.
He is not going to be happy with that, guys. He came in 5th place in points, just not able to get the job done here in that J Motorsports number 91. But Rusty, they'll work by you here right now. The leader's heading down into 4.
Right in front of me now, it's about 5 car lengths or so. So I think Parker Thompson, as you mentioned, just sort of letting it go away. He's going to have to settle for second, but wants to be secure in that second spot. So has backed off the throttle just a little bit and looking for the checkered flag.
Anthony Martin doing a great job here, headed for the three-peat. It's still about 2.5 car lengths as they go underneath the Honda bridge. Tom Michaels, this is one of our new stars making his way up.
Anthony Martin led from the get-go, puts the right side wheels up on the rumble strip in 9. About 3 car lengths ahead of Parker Thompson, up into the carousel turn, and just about to take one more checkered flag.
Here comes Anthony Martin, last year's Rookie of the Year. He will leave Mid-Ohio with a 3-peat back-to-back-to-back jacks for the driver out of Perth, Australia. Parker Thompson closes at the end, but the winner today is Anthony Martin. Fast lap of the race as well. He scores a victory by 0.8 of a second. Parker Thompson takes second.
The Allied Building Products of Mid-Ohio USF 2000 triple header is done, and all 3 races were won and pretty much dominated by this man right here, Anthony Martin. The team owners, Dominic and Nicholas Cape, had the broom waiting for you when you came in. How great has this weekend been?
Oh, unbelievable, you know. Can't get much better than that. 3 wins, championship lead now. All I got to do is be consistent at Laguna, and the championship could be waiting for me. But 2 races, it can change quickly, but I'll give it everything I got.
Now, when you got out of the car here on pit lane, you're right across pit road from Will Powers' box. He's getting ready for Verizon IndyCar Series practice. What is he saying to you? You're both from Australia. What words did he have for you when you got out of the car?
Just a couple tips, you know. Obviously got a 21-point lead in the championship now. Laguna is a very hard track to pass, and he was just saying, you know, just finish it at the front, get a good qualifying in, and, you know, I should be okay. So, but, you know, things can change quickly. So it's all easy to say, but we'll put it to practice in a month's time.
You didn't see your Australian football out on the front straightaway when you came by, did you?
No, unfortunately not. Parker owes me a football for that one.
Well, we'll get it for you. Congratulations. 3 wins in a row here at Mid-Ohio for Anthony Martin. Great job.
And thanks.